Big cheeked tie.
Matty,
Oh, sorry.
lucky he hasn't started speaking.
What we do. Hello, good afternoon. I can see that there is a technical issue on this side, but we are able to start soon. So this meeting is about our learning in this half term, which is Module 2. And I'm going to go through what we do, what we're doing at the moment, and actually what we did lately in reception class, and the learning that the children were doing and playing doing for this half term. Can you hear me? Just want to check that. I just want to check that you can hear me. Oh, sorry. Okay, I'll make my voice a bit louder. Thank you. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for coming. In this meeting, we're going to go through the learning we are doing in reception class for this half term, and we're going to go through the activities that the children did and the activities that the children are doing, and the purpose of it in early years, especially in reception class. I hope my voice is clearer now. Okay, I'll try my best to keep my voice not lower than that. Okay, this half term, our theme is traditional tales, which we are really enjoying very much. We were going on a bear hunt, and we did the 3 Billy Goats Gruff. And next week, we're so excited to start the nativity story, and it will be all about Christmas. The children's ideas were amazing when it comes to acting out stories, telling us how things happen and why. We really enjoyed every single part of we're going on a bear hunt and the 3 Billy Goats Gruff, and we're super excited for Christmas next week. We're starting next week. Our learning in reading, we are carrying on doing Optima reading first thing in the morning. The children are able to practice sounds, no more sounds, hearing them, saying them, and also reading some BC words like it, if, on, in, and CBC words like can, mat, max, rat, and also some other side vocabulary like that, and for, he. Do you really practice that every day? So it's kind of a habit when it comes to reading every single morning. We use these fantastic skills in reading to enjoy our writing, and also to make our writing purposeful, and also that helps the children to link the letter they see and the letter the sound they say to the writing. Some of them are enjoying mark making, but with that, we move on to making letter shapes. But doing phonics every single morning, that one keeps them happy to talk about letters and have a go trying to form letters. Also, children are enjoying name writing, carrying on. Some of them can write their name straight away, and some of them may need to remember by looking at the name card, which is fine because what they can get from their name writing is really massive. Like they can use the sounds from their name to put in some other words. Like if they have the sound up in their name, they can try to have a go writing the word orange, for example, which starts with the sound O. So name writing is really important. We can learn a lot from these few sounds. They can a few letters they can write. That helps them with their letter formation, and from name writing we move on to add more sounds, more letters, and that happens in most of the activities. Like even if it's not a writing activity, like if they are playing with sand, for example, they can try to do letter shape with sand. They can also when we do play do, they can shape it in a way that looks like a letter or a sound, which is really good. So the activities are linked together, but also we try our best to make the children enjoy what they are doing rather than just doing it. For this half term, we're focusing on hearing and saying the initial sounds of the words, or more than one sound, which is really interesting because what we do in our Optima reading in the morning, we focus on hearing every single sound, but also when we do writing, it's really important that we know that the child is hearing the sound and saying it. Like let's say if a child wants to write about the 3 billy goats, if a child says goat, then I would ask them what sound does goat start with. They would say amazing. Then we move to the next step, like amazing that you know that goat starts with g. Go and find the sound g for me. Then they will find it in the writing mat, or if they are confident enough, they can just have a go writing it straight away. Then we move in on like where is the ending sound. Some of them can find it easily, like it's t, and some might hear other sounds like oh, for example. But we are still happy with that because it's amazing to move on from just knowing one sound of the word. We can hear more, which is a very good skill as well. And I'm happy that the children are happy to practice their phonics in the writing activities as well. And there are some samples here of a child hearing the sound and the word cave. And actually, another child had a go writing the word it independently, which I don't know if it shows much here, but it's it. Happy with that. In our math learning this half term, we were counting up to 10 and beyond. The reason I just put beyond because we made it open. The children can move up to 20. Some might find it challenging, so we wouldn't push them very far when they are not ready. But also we are making it very continuous. Like every single day, we clap and count up to 20. When we are lining up, we count how many children are there. So that's definitely more than 20. So they are hearing it, saying it. Even sometimes we like stomp all together and count our actions. So they always hear it, they're always using the mathematical language, but at the same time we do activities to make them link it to real life. Like for example, we put some tiny bears and ask them to count them. Of course, we model it first so the children know, like they point at one item and count at the same time. Also, to be aware of the numbers and be able to recognize them in our display and our activities. We always have prompts on the walls that children can refer to, and also to make the environment more educational. When the children look at it, you wonder why that number is there and what number comes after this number, because ordering the numbers as well is a skill itself. Also, sometimes even with like using water trays, we still can link it to math by comparing the size of the bottles, also comparing the capacity, how much water is here, why this is, why do you think this has more water than this one? So it's kind of using our mathematical skills as much as we can, indoor and outdoor. Some other aspects of our learning as well, which is amazing. It really helps them to be creative, and it supports them with their speech and speaking and listening and understanding. Also, it forms their vocabulary, which is role play. For example, when they hear a story, they get some knowledge they can use when they go and act it out, or they can actually come up with their own story using their own vocabulary, or using some vocabulary that they have also they have got it already from reading lots of books, which is really amazing skill to have. Like, for example, if they hear the word once upon a time, they might use it when they come up with their own story. They might say, they might end their story with saying happy ever after. All that comes with experience. Like when they hear, the more they are exposed to stories, the more they are able to use this language. And of course, they add their own way of acting out and showing the emotions of the character, telling us the details of every single scene. Like in this, for example, when we're doing the Three Billy Goats Gruff, the children straight away assume that the troll is going to be horrible and he wants to eat the goats. Before we even read it, because the way they thought about it, there is a troll, massive troll, hiding under the bridge. There must be a trouble. So it's an amazing thinking from them. They acted out. They even added their own ideas, like the troll might be angry because he wants food. So they find reasons why things are happening, which is another skill as well. Amazing, like thinking about where things come from and how things are happening. This is an amazing skill as well, and that adds to their creativity. So when you go and draw or use the paint or cut and stick to make models, they link it to their stories. They link it to their learning. And while they are doing that, they are still covering other aspects of learning, like while they are cutting and sticking, for example, they might say, I'm making sharp teeth for the troll. They assume if the troll is going to gobble the goats, they must have like, sharp teeth, which is really interesting. Also, they can use their creativity by making up stories. Like, for example, outside we are making a small cafe. You just go there and say, "Oh, can you put more sauce on my chips, please?" And while they're just like holding a small empty plate, so they create their own storyline, and they enjoy listening to each other, because while someone is hearing a child saying, "Can you add more sauce to my chips or something?" the others might just like get some water and they call it sauce, which is amazing because they are using the available resource in a purpose that serves their ideas. On top of that, art is an amazing thing that the children enjoy, and like they mix colors to find out. Well, if I put these two colors together, what other colors can I make? And we observe the changes as well of mixing colors. Also, they can talk about the texture of things, like, oh, if I, for example, if I stick these two papers together, they are going to be very thick, or this kind of paper is soft, or when they do Play-Doh, for example, they can say, "Oh, this is squishy. This is hard." So they are still using their skills in a way that it's covering as much as they can. Like they are talking about it, they are feeling it, they are using their fingers to feel things, using their knowledge to express what they know about things, which is really kind of encouraging to see. This half term we did like we used our bikes to be very purposeful outside. Like we were like writing numbers, and we were going to do like number hunt. But the children added to it, and they said, "What about sounds?" So actually, we added sounds to our hunt. So they would be on the bike, and I would just shout and say, "If you find number 7, just shout, I found it." They would just go and find number 7. If you find the sound that your name starts with, just shout. They might say, and they shout just my name starts with which is really amazing. But also the main activity was to make them active and to give them a purpose for being active outdoors. We looked at the learning journals, and we can see that you are doing very well with your children, reading with them at home, which is amazing. We are very thankful for that, and we appreciate it. We would also ask you to please continue doing that. Reading with child is an amazing thing. As I said before, it gives them some knowledge, it gives them the vocabulary, it helps them to understand when they hear it from someone else, because actually gives them the chance to ask questions, or it gives the others a chance to ask the children about what they know and what they suggest might happen. It helps them, and the more they read, the more they want to know more about the book or the character, or actually they might even share their knowledge and say, "Oh, I know someone else in another book was doing the same thing." So actually, it gives them the power of telling you that actually they know a lot, which is really amazing. And also, it's a big chance of answering the questions that they may need. Also, our home workbooks are coming back with fantastic support from parents. They read with children. You are all amazing. Thank you for doing that. Sometimes books do not come on Monday, but please make sure they come back on Monday or Tuesday, so we can look at it and just ensure that the child had a go and forming letters or recognizing numbers, or a little bit of reading. It's really important. So please, continue doing that. Amazing. Thank you very much for doing that. Sometimes we put some activities, some of the activities we're doing in our class on Twitter. So if you have the chance to have a look on Twitter, that would be amazing. Just to have a quick idea about what we do. But also on top of that, of course, if you don't have any question, at the end of the day, I'm happy to tell you about the children's learning and how their day went. Also, on the entrance of our class, there is a notice board. You must have seen it. We just put it like a few weeks ago, not long ago. We put some of the children's work. Sorry, we can't put everything. They are amazing. They do fantastic things, but we can't put everything on Twitter and everything on the notice board. But also, you might just have a quick look in the morning when you drop the child, just to know what we're learning about this week or this half term. That would be amazing. Next week, is exciting. We are going to start our Christmas learning. We'll learn about the nativity story, and also we will create like Christmas decoration, and yeah, we start to put the tree already after the children are gone. So it's exciting. Next week, the children will perform their Christmas song, and it will be filmed. But you will see it soon. The children at the moment who are just practicing it, which is amazing. They are excited. The moment they just hear the word Christmas, everyone is excited to sing and to join in. So we're practicing "We Wish You a Merry Christmas." I think the children are familiar with it, and we did that for a few days now. So if you ask them, hopefully they will be able to tell you about that. So that's exciting. That is going to the filming will happen next week, but I'm not sure when we will. You will be able to see it. Okay, but the children are enjoying it, and the film will happen on Friday. Okay, this part. If you have any question, can you please put it in the chat? I'll be able to. I'll try my best to answer you. Any question? Oh, thank you very much. Thank you for coming, and have a lovely weekend.